Greetings everyone, many blessings to you. My name is Cassandra and you are watching Spotless Mind Tarot. In this pick a card tarot reading, we will receive an outlook of what you could expect in October 2023. I'm performing these readings later than usual, so my apologies for them being so late. As always, these readings can be watched anytime during the month when you come across them. There are 3 oracle cards for you to choose from. We have card number 1, Dumah, Angel of Dreams. Card number 2, Remph, Angel of Time. And card number 3, Gabriel, Angel of Heralds. Choose the very first card you saw or the card that's instantly grabbing your attention. Please keep in mind that these are general readings and a variety of people will be tuning into them, so some of the messages I deliver may not be for you. I do my best to speak in metaphors and give examples of the energy that's coming through in the readings for you to apply them accordingly to your life. For those of you who have picked a card already, you may jump to your reading now. Timestamps and other information can be found in the description below. If you enjoyed this tarot reading and would like for me to go even deeper for you, I offer private readings that you can purchase on my Etsy shop. Not only do I offer tarot readings, but I also make gemstone and metal jewelry, digital birth charts, and acrylic paintings. The link to my shop can be found on the screen or in the description below. Blessings. If you picked card number 1, Dumah, Angel of Dreams, this is your reading for October 2023. We will begin the reading by taking a look at your current energies to see where you are at this moment. Then we'll look at what you could expect in the month ahead. Today I am pulling from the Oracle deck Angelarium, Oracle of Emanations. And for this group, I am reading from the Cosmic Tarot. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Upon doing research on this Angel Dumah, I found some very interesting information about this person, I guess you could say this entity or this deity. Basically, I get 2 different interpretations of this angel. One seems to be more based on like New Age beliefs, or it's more metaphysical in nature, and then the other is more religious in nature. And it's largely, this angel can be found in rabbinical literature as well as Islamic literature. And in rabbinical literature, this angel is responsible for casting the wicked souls into like a pit, basically, in Hades. And they do this like every week. And so this soul, or this angel, is responsible for dealing with people who are impure, basically. He doesn't cast judgment on them, but he's like responsible for punishing them. However, in the metaphysical or the more New Age belief of this angel was once in charge of the cosmic symphony. They were in charge of all the chords in the universe, and apparently they became very uninterested in this role. And during the fall, they declared, "I sing no more." And they had completely stopped talking and singing since. And so this angel is known as the Angel of Silence. So there's 2 very different descriptions of this angel and what this angel can represent. And then in this oracle deck, it is seen as the Angel of Dreams. So this is an interesting character nonetheless. I will read what the booklet says, and then we're going to go ahead and start pulling tarot cards. And we'll see what comes up. I was channeling before this reading, and basically with this oracle card, what I was getting was there may be something in your life that you once thought was the right thing to do. It could be anything, you know, it could be something of a religious or spiritual aspect, but it could be anything else. I guess anything else that's important to you at this time or important to you in this lifetime, like something you find purpose in. And you could have once held a belief or had a habit of doing something that you thought was the right thing to do. And as of lately, I would say maybe because of the transits that are happening. I mean, it is eclipse season, especially this month. This is the eclipse month. And as well as Pluto is going direct and it's also opposing Venus. And so relationships of all kinds are being affected, especially because we are in Libra season. So like there's just a lot going on, and I feel Pluto going direct, especially opposing Venus, I really feel has a personal effect on us more than it has a relationship effect. And that could have a lot to do with the nodes, the North Node being in Aries as well, where we're being forced, all of us as individuals, we're being forced to really do what is best for us, you know, and moving away from doing what others expect out of us or what we once had expected out of ourselves. And so, with this oracle card I'm getting is basically you could have a new realization, and it's forcing you to see things differently. It could drastically be changing your belief systems, you know, the things that you once believed in that you know, and perhaps they serve their purpose very well. Perhaps, you know, it wasn't a bad thing what you were doing or what you believed. It's like the truth came out and it's your truth. It's not the truth of any kind of outside influence. And so there's like a purification going on here. That's what I'm getting basically. So let me go ahead and read what's in the book. All right, so I'm going to do my best to pronounce some of these words. So, Dumah, Angel of Dreams, docent to the unknown. Dumah is the impetus to doubt a false reality, to crack the shell, keeping you from the truth. When the world shifts around you, Dumah is your guide. The world is stranger than you believed it to be. What we all dream, we dream together. Those dream pooled Those dreams pool together in Dumas' cupped hands. Look below the surface of the water. You know you've missed something and yet you wonder what. You listen closely and yet you hear nothing. All the while you dream the truth you think you seek. It is said that Dumas and Leiliel are connected. The truth of this can only be found within Angelarium. The signs for you to look out this month are a reflection in water, a golden cage, and an eye. So very like interesting description here, and a very interesting character, I might say. I feel like there's a lot of mystery surrounding this angel and what they truly represent and who they truly are. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the cards and we're going to take a look at your current energies. This is basically the energies that are happening for you right now as you watch this video. It could even just be what's happened so far in October because this reading is late. So I'm doing this on October 12th. And so this could just be like the beginning, like the first week for you, basically. And then we'll go ahead after that. We'll look at what you could expect to happen this month. And this reading is good at any time. You could literally watch this reading on the last day of this month and it should still apply to you. If anything, it should at least kind of like recap what October was about for you. Okay, so for current energies, we got the Eight of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Hanged Man. So I definitely see here with the Ace of Swords that there is a new truth that has entered your life. The Ace of Swords to me is always like just this divine insight you've received, like brand new information that completely changes everything. It changes your whole outlook on a either on your life or just like on a particular situation. And it's usually because you've received new information. New information has come to light. It could even just be like a deep inner knowing. So you could just like decided to completely change the way you feel or see something. So it doesn't necessarily have to be something external that happened to, you know, I mean, if anything, whatever that's external that prompted you to change your belief was still like a personal decision. Like, especially if you've been stuck in a cycle for a while, like you've kind of like, you know, this thing is bad for you, but for whatever reason, you can't give it up. And there could be reasons for that. Like it doesn't have to be something negative. It could just be like you just weren't learning the lesson, or you just weren't brave enough to let it go, I guess you could say. Either way, you've received new insight. And with the Eight of Wands, it was definitely like really sudden. Like it kind of just came at you out of nowhere. And it could have happened very recently for a lot of you watching. Like as of this week, the week of, well, today is October 12th, the time I'm recording this. So basically the second week of October, like something definitely happened the first week, and something happened the first week for everybody because of like the shifts that were going on. It was just, especially over the weekend, like the energies have been intense, and things really shifted. The real shift hasn't occurred just yet, but like there's like a shift. It's like shifting gears. Like we're not in the final gear yet. We're like in the first two gears. And this week was like that shift. It was like, okay, like I feel like the first week was the first shift, and then the second week, like the second shift was like your doing versus something that was going on in the universe. Like it was a personal decision. It's really, with the Hanged Man, it's really, it's completely changed your perceptions. You just like, it's not like you're going in the opposite direction of it. You're like countering it. That's exactly what the Hangman is doing. He's not denying what he sees. He's just changing the way he sees it. He sees a different truth in it now. And it's also like about observation. Like it's really about taking a step back and seeing it from a whole new perspective. And it's not so much about admitting that you're wrong, although some of you may have to admit that maybe you really were wrong. But it doesn't have to necessarily be that for some of you. Like it could just be like what you once thought or what you once believed. Like it's not that it wasn't true or wrong. It just wasn't in alignment with you completely. And I still feel that it served its purpose. It still had a reason. Like it wasn't all for nothing, because it brought you to this moment. Even if it was a painful situation that you've had to deal with, or something that was just like hard to accept or hard to let go of. You needed those experiences. And the Hangman is also assigned to let you know that like you don't have to act on anything necessarily. Like you can take a step back. You can, like, it's more about just allowing things to unfold on their own and like becoming a watcher of your own life in a way, and I'm sure there's like a spiritual practice of that. Like I'm sure like that's a thing to just, I've definitely have done this where you just like you let go completely because you have such a profound sense of oneness with the universe, like nothing can fail. It can be hard to get to that mind state, or like even just that vibration, like being in that vibration, it's hard to get there. But you're able to just like let go even when the world around you is like falling apart, and you're still just like cool with it. You know what I mean? It's not easy, but the hangman is kind of like telling me that like you can do that right now. Like you can just like let it go. No matter what's happening, you don't have to attach yourself to it in a way that's is gonna upset you or bring you down or take up your time when you don't have the time for it anymore. That's basically what I'm getting. Things are happening very rapidly, and this is really necessary. So, you do want to go with the flow as well. You want to go with the flow, but you also want to like let it go in the process. So, whatever shifts and changes, whatever demands your attention, like you gotta go with it. And it's gonna be really temporary. So, it's like I would treat October as like a day to day basis, especially with these eclipses. When like there's gonna be days that feel like a shift took place, especially on the day of the eclipse. And especially if you're in the path of the eclipse, which is it's gonna begin in North America, and then I believe, like I don't know the full path, but I know it's gonna cross the whole globe. It's transit, so you have to look. If you're in the southern hemisphere, you're gonna have to like find out if it's gonna be close to where you are. But basically, like if you're in America, in the northern part of America anyway, so like Canada and maybe even like Mexico, like, you want to take it day by day because anything can happen. There's going to be some days where the day is going to be really demanding, and then there's going to be some days where you're going to have like nothing to do. So that's why you got to like let it go because, you know, it's just going to be it's going to be like chaotic, but it's not like, it's hard to describe it. It's like neutral chaotic, I guess you could say. Like it's not necessarily good, but it's like it's not going to necessarily be bad either. It's going to just be very unpredictable. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at what you could expect to occur in the month ahead. Okay, so the month ahead, we got Two of Cups, Death, and Queen of Cups. This is also basically what you could expect to just come in for you this month. And it could have already come in, but this is like the main thing to look out for, basically. So, Two of Cups and Death, and then Queen of Cups, there's definitely relationships here involved. And the relationship doesn't have to be romantic, it could even be a relationship with yourself. With the Death card, there's going to be a huge change within your relationships, within your partnerships, contracts, negotiations, maybe even a place of residence or the people like you surround yourself with within your immediate environment. Things are drastically changing. I feel like there's going to be big changes in work and career, big changes where you work, like the site itself, the place you work at, like there's something changing about it. There could be a work party. I don't know what that's all about, but like there could be And that could be really specific for like one person, but like there's like some kind of work event or work party happening. Apparently, it's like a big deal. Even like if the event itself like isn't a big deal, like it can end up being a really big deal for you. I feel like there's somebody there you can meet. It doesn't have to be romantic, but there could be like a connection that gets made that completely like it redefines everything. If it's not work, it could be school, it could really be any kind of event. So if there's a party that you're attending this month, I mean it is going to be Halloween, so you know there's all kinds of Halloween parties, right? So like it could be anything where there's some kind of networking going on. So even if you do go to like a Halloween party, you can end up networking with somebody even though you had no plans on even discussing work at this party, right? It just comes up. It just happens. I feel like there could be a connection that's made that either it's gonna like it could be like a one-time thing, like you don't follow up with this person afterwards, but it could have like a long lasting effect on you. So it could be like a karmic connection, a karmic meeting. You know, like it could be a person you've have a past life with. Either way, like it's pretty important though here with the Two of Cups. That's basically what I'm getting. Like, you know, an event, a party, and then having a very meaningful encounter with somebody. And again, like it doesn't have to be romantic. You know, there could be like I don't know how to describe it. Like there's strong feelings, but like it's not romantic. And so the strong feelings I relate that to just something really karmic, you know? Something really like it wasn't a coincidence. Like it was you're supposed to meet this person at this time or you're supposed to network with this person at this time. It could even be someone you've met before. It's just that's basically what I'm getting. And you know, with the death card, this is all about deep transformations and also like maybe coming out of your shell a little bit more. You know, like not being afraid to show yourself, not even like thinking about it, like you're just bearing it all and not in a chaotic way or in a way that like is loud. I just feel like you're just presenting yourself and it's not you're not demanding anything from anybody. You're not commanding anything from anyone either. Like you're just showing up. That's all. And so this month with the death card, you definitely whatever goes on, you know, even if going to the grocery store or pumping your gas, like just show up as you are, like you know what I mean? There's this quote I'm thinking about, and I don't know the exact quote, but it's something like, you know, the person saying, I wish I had the confidence of a 2-year-old who dresses themselves, or something like that, you know, because like they're not gonna necessarily have a sense of like, you know, fashion, you know, or anything of like they're gonna wear two different colored socks, you know, even if they do it on purpose, you know, like, and then they're not gonna care what anyone thinks. So that's kind of like the energy I'm getting is just like you're just doing it, like you're not looking to get a reaction, you know, and that's the best kind of confidence to have. It's that confidence where you really, you know, you don't demand anything or command anything from anybody. Because I feel like sometimes when we have confidence, we usually expect something out of another person, or, you know, that there's usually ego involved. I mean, that's basically what confidence is. It is your ego, but, you know, you could use your ego in a way that isn't like, I don't know how to put it, like confrontational or anything. Like it just is, you know? So basically, that's how you want to like show up this month. Like just be, even if like, I don't know. I think you guys get what I'm saying. It's hard to explain it. Now, Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups, usually in my readings, I relate it to somebody's mother. But you know, we could just be embodying this energy overall. This could be the person that you meet this month, male or female or however they identify themselves. But basically, this is a person who is just, they have that confidence I'm speaking about. And a lot of that comes from emotional maturity. When you have emotional maturity, you really don't rely on other people for validation. And I think that's what the message here is too, is like, it's not about seeking validation. And it's beyond giving yourself the validation. Like you're beyond that. Like you do that already. So there's no need to like acknowledge it, if you get what I'm saying. Like it's just there. And that's basically what I'm getting here. It's, you just are, you're in your element. This is also another energy of being observant and knowing when to speak, how to say it, who to say it to. This is Libra season, the beginning of October, and it's really, Libra can be seen as like a sign that is like two-faced or shady, or like I can't think of the word, like they lack personality or something like that, or like, it's hard to describe, but like Libra energy is really an energy that deals with people on a case by case basis. Like if you're a really nice, easygoing person, a Libra's gonna reciprocate that. Like a Libra placement's going to mirror that. They're gonna give it right back to you, you know. So they do kind of copy other people's personalities, other people's laughs, they're just like, Libra's also an energy that likes to try things. I saw this meme of Snoop Dogg, and it was something like Snoop Dogg just be doing everything, and like he's like doing all these different things. He's like playing basketball. He's cooking with Martha Stewart. Like he's just like, he's doing all these like super random things. And that's like total Libra energy. Like they gotta try it all out for themselves. They gotta like weigh all their options. Like how could they know if they never experienced it? Saturn is exalted in Libra, and so it really is about seeking the experience of things. Saturn is about experiencing it and getting your hands dirty. It's about doing the work. So going back to what I was saying before all this, you want to treat people on a case by case basis. Like you wouldn't tell like your sexual fantasies to your boss, probably, right? Like no, right? Yeah, I think you could get fired for that, right? Like, so like you there's just certain things you don't say to certain people, and especially on like where you are at the moment. So you want to show up in accordance to where you are and who you're around. And it's not about being fake or, copying somebody, like I guess how Libra energy can be. It's just like you're just matching energy with them. You're matching energy with where you are, while still like not denying yourself or denying anything of yourself. You're just adjusting yourself to the situation, which is a big lesson for Libra. So, you may even have Libra placements watching this. But I guess overall, just for like while we're in Libra season, this is the lesson to learn. And especially with the North Node and Aries and the South Node in Libra, like right now is a good time to like take off the mask. And it's not even like taking off the mask. It's like looking at all your masks. And Libra has many masks for many situations, for many different people. Like, it's just the way it is. And you really want to evaluate who you are behind each of those masks, each of those personalities. You know, who you are at work, who you are at home, who you are with your parents, who you are with your best friend, you know, who you are in the grocery store. Like, are they all different people, or are they all the same person? And the truth is, it's all the same person because it's you. But like, which mask do you want to keep wearing? Like, which one do you want to keep portraying? Which one isn't working out for you? And it could be one, it could be, or it could be like all of them. Like, none of these masks are working anymore. Like, some of you need to take off the mask completely because it's not serving you. Because maybe mirroring that energy with people isn't working for you. Because, you know, let's say you have a lot of fire placements. That mirroring doesn't work too well for fire placements. Like, you want to be yourself, your true authentic self, no matter what. That's the lesson for fire signs. Air signs have a different mission. It is about relating and seeing through other people's eyes in a way. Okay, so that's basically what I'm getting. I'm going to keep these short and sweet, and I think the main message got out for you this month. I'm going to go ahead and pull one more oracle card, and this is going to like tie up all the energies for us. And I've decided not to do channeled songs this month either because of like the eclipses and stuff happening, and this video is late and just like everything going on. Like, I think silence is really the answer, and it's kind of funny because now we're coming back to the angel Dumah and how its titles is Angel of Silence. And it is really about observation and being silent, but like there's a skill to being silent even when you're loud, which is, I guess you could say, is like a Scorpio thing. Like, they can tell you so much and you still wouldn't know who the heck they are. Like, they could still be hiding things that, like, you know what I mean? Like, they could be so personal and so open, but like the truth is, like, there's more to it. It's kind of like a facade they do. Okay, so anyways, let's go ahead and pull this second oracle card. And this is from the Spirit of the Animals Oracle. So this is like a spirit guide for you this month. It's an energy that you can tap into. The oracle cards are energies you can tap into at any time, especially the emanations, the angels. These are angels. If you want to work with them, you can call upon them. You don't even need permission from this reading to do that. Like, you can call upon them whenever you want. Or it could just be like an archetype that you embody. And the oracle card we got for you is Bison Abundance. And the card says, Sacred Buffalo, cloak me in your wisdom. Keep me warm through the storms of life. Fill my life with goodness. Teach me the way of gratitude and prayer. And I'm going to photograph what the description in the booklet says and put it up on the screen now. So if you want, you can go ahead and screenshot it and keep it with you for the month. If you haven't yet already, please hit the subscribe button, tap the notifications bell, and like this video. By liking this video, you help to push it into the YouTube algorithm for other people to find. Follow my profile on Instagram at Spotless Mind Tarot. Replace the I in mind with the number 1. If you would like to book a private reading with me, my readings are available on my Etsy shop, kaleidoscopeescape.etsy.com. And please do me a huge favor and drop a comment below. Tell me which pile you picked, and if you would like to, go ahead and share your story and experiences with me. I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm very grateful for having your presence and I will catch you in the next video. Blessings. If you picked card number 2, Remph, Angel of Time, this is your reading for October 2023. We will begin the reading by taking a look at your current energies to see where you are at this moment. Then we'll look at what you could expect in the month ahead. This description I found for Remph is the angel of time and is God's appointed guardian of time and space. And these may not be like biblical interpretations of this angel. I haven't really found too much information about this angel, and the name could probably just be spelled much differently than its original spelling. But apparently this angel is very, very old, as they probably should be, right? Because they're in charge of time. And this website that I'm reading from, it's a fandom wiki for powers and abilities. It says, despite his age, Remph is extremely powerful and is capable of warping both space and time, though excessive use of this power can severely weaken him. Moreover, the continued use of this power would create ruptures within the space-time continuum. Therefore, he must be wary with the usage of his power. His powers allow him to traverse the multiverse at will, allowing Remph to track and record events across a countless number of realities, as well as dangerous temporal anomalies. His status as an angel of time ultimately makes him a multiversal singularity, existing as one being across all of time and space. So that's pretty significant, if you ask me. I mean, if they can exist as a singularity across all time and space, that's like essentially what God is able to do, right? It's able to exist anywhere and anywhere all at once. And this angel is a singularity, so it's not like there's multiple versions of them within multiple universes or multiple dimensions. Like, they remain the same entity at all times. And to me, that just sounds really reliable. And so there could be energy for you guys this month where you are going to be really reliable for yourself and for others. You could also either like be influenced to become more self-reliable by another person, like a coach or a teacher or somebody who makes like a significant impact on your life. So even if they're not like an actual like coach or anything, or like a guru or anything like that, like a personal, teacher, they could just say things that just like give you that kind of like same vibe, like, and maybe they are like your guru, right? But like it's very untraditional in the sense of like who a guru is, like they could just be somebody who just says things that just like it's hard to explain. But essentially the whole guru vibe, like they could easily just be a neighbor up the street, right? That you see like every now and then, like every couple days you see them. Like, it doesn't have to be someone who's just like actively in your life. Either way, there's just this sense of responsibility with this character, with this entity. I'll read the description from the booklet, and it should help give us a little more insight into the meaning behind this angel and what the creator of this oracle deck intended. Okay, so Remph, Angel of Time. Eternally vigilant and forever burning. Remph is the movement through space measured out with a deft precision. Our footsteps upon the earth mark its passing, for we are all bound to time. One by one we tick and talk, and every life is counted. Even as those lives pass, we are all sand and seconds and moments, all fleeting. Fire burns until it doesn't. Lives are lived until they aren't. Dreams are dreamt until we wake. Remph stands by all of this, counting. What better unit of measure than the souls that pass through the tree of life into Angelarium? Remph walks between the pillars of past and present, turning every corner and every second. Remph's movements can be seen in our own as a fulcrum between moments. The signs to look out for this month are a clock, a torch, and a wave. So I'm getting like being everywhere and nowhere at once. That's the kind of mindset this oracle card is asking of you for this month. So I'm going to go ahead and pull cards for the current energies, and we're going to take a look at where you are at this moment. And the current energies can be what's happening right now for you as you're watching this video, or because this video is late, it could also just be like what was going on the first 2 weeks of October. I'm recording this reading on October 12th, which is a Thursday. We're like 2 days away from the eclipse. But even if you click on this video late, it's still pretty relevant for you. I mean, this reading is good for the entire month of October. And I am going to pull from the Albano Waite Tarot deck. Okay, so for current energies, we got the Magician, Page of Cups, and the Hierophant. Now, going back to the Oracle card, Remph, and who this angel is and what they like, what their duties are and what they represent, it's reminding me of the character in Marvel who was introduced in Loki, the character Kang. And in the Loki version, or Kang in the show Loki, is different from the Kang you see in Ant-Man 3. And then, spoiler alert, but if you see at the very end of that movie, there's a whole bunch of Kangs, right? So there's multiple versions of this guy. So although this angel in particular, there's only one version of this, there's a character in Loki, a version of Kang called the One Who Remains, or it's He Who Remains. And his job is basically the same thing as this angel. It's to keep track of time. It's to make sure that all the threads, all the cords are flowing in divine order. And if you haven't seen Loki, I highly recommend that you watch that show. They just started season 2, and the show is all about time and dimensions and realities. They even question things like free will and determinism. That's like the energy I'm getting is that character Kang, and how He Who Remains, he is in charge of time and he's completely alone, doing this job. And he has to make sure that everything like happens accordingly, and he knows everything that's about to happen before it happens. He not only is like keeping time in check, he's also tracking time. He's also like recording it. And so with that, I feel you could be called into solitude this month. You could be called to do some time management. So if like you haven't been good with time lately and good with like keeping a schedule, this is a month that's it's going to force you to do that. You're not going to have a choice, especially with the eclipses happening. There's going to be major shifts. I mean, there's already been shifts happening, especially like over the past weekend, the first weekend of October. Definitely some changes happening. A lot of planets are moving direct this month. Right now, Pluto has gone direct, and in a couple of days we're gonna have an eclipse. So this is a month to completely, and especially during Libra season, it's a time to completely like change and step into the new version of ourselves. A lot of us, if not all of us, are having like our butterfly moment. We're emerging from the cocoon finally. And so with all that said, I feel like there's gonna, for you guys, even if you're not literally going into a place of solitude where you're able to like be alone and isolated, I think it may be more internal and inward. So like Maybe you go out less this month. Maybe you're just going to say a lot less this month. Like you're keeping to yourself a little bit more than usual. You could just be contemplating things a lot more than you normally have. Okay, and so with the tarot, we have the Magician, the Page of Cups, and the Hierophant. It's definitely a time of reflection with the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups does have a lot to do with self-reflection and asking yourself, what is it that you enjoy doing? What is it that you desire? What are things in your life that bring you joy, bring you sense of fulfillment? Any kind of connection to yourself or to others. And the Magician is here saying basically that this is a good time, especially with the current energies, to right now to really you could take advantage of the energies this month and really manifest an ideal reality, an ideal future for yourself. Like, time is in your hands. The oracle that you guys picked can be an oracle, like an archetype that you embody. So it could be an angel that you work with this month that you can call upon, but you could also just take the archetypal energy of what that angel represents and just embody that, just feel into that and carry that with you, and then apply it to situations in your life. If you were the one in charge of time, what would you do with it? I kind of feel like there isn't too much you can do with it, because time is I don't believe that time is linear, like it's on a one-way track. But at the same time, it's you can't really, it follows a one-way track, even if it's not a one-way track. I believe you can time travel through the astral. So in meditative states, I feel you can time travel and go back to moments that happened, as well as doing that for the future too, going into the future. And if you had the ability to do that, what would you do with that knowledge and information that you receive? Especially when it comes to something about the future. If you knew what was going to happen and you knew certain things were to happen, would you do them? Okay, if you knew you were going to post something on the internet, right? You had a vision of it, or whatever the case, would you still go ahead and post it, or would you just be actually, I don't have to, right? Or do I? So that's an interesting question to ask. If you knew something, would you do anything to try to change it or stop it or prevent it? Or would you take the responsibility of allowing that thing to occur because you were told or influenced or saw that it was supposed to occur? And that's kind of what this angel represents. If they know what's going to happen, they still have to allow it to happen, right? Because that's their job. So with that, your intuition can play a big part, especially with the Magician. There's a lot that's in your hands right now. There's a lot. I mean, you have all the tools with you. They're right in front of you. You're given an opportunity to see things that aren't there, to create things and to bring it into existence. And the Page of Cups is asking you, okay, so what are you going to do with this? Because the Page of Cups is a really reflective, self-reflective card. It also has a lot to do with creativity, the creation energies, the feminine and masculine energies uniting. I feel you've been given an opportunity, so let's bring it back down to earth, So let's just say this is a job situation. You're given a responsibility, you're given a new position, or even a new job title, right? let's say you have like a plan set out before you. Are you able to execute that plan? Is it in perfect alignment with you? Let's say you get like you have like a high position at your job and you're given some information about something, and like you're not supposed to reveal this information, right? And let's just say, for example, like, there's going to be like a huge layoff in a couple weeks or something, and you know exactly who's going to get laid off. And like some of these people you've worked with for many, many years, and you know they deserve to stay at the company and all that stuff, right? Like, they have a purpose there, but in a couple weeks they're about to lose their job completely. Let's just say that's an example. Do you answer the call and not say anything? You know? Do you keep it to yourself because you have to, because that is your requirement? You're not allowed to tell anybody. You just have beforehand knowledge. So you're probably being presented right now, or you were presented in the first 2 weeks of October, a responsibility, a duty that's just, it's like a higher calling in a sense. So and even if it's not, so like, again, like if it's more like the example I gave, where it doesn't have to be like a higher purpose or higher calling, right? But it has a big impact no matter what. You're unaffected by it, or you may not be, like maybe emotionally it affects you, but like you're safe. You're on base, you're good. But your teammates, your players, your whoever, they're out. And it's interesting because the Hierophant's duty is to uphold the knowledge of that religion, more predominantly like Christianity. Like, it is his job to keep the tradition, to keep the stories going, to, live that life, basically, to represent all that they have to represent, and be able to give that to the public, be able to execute it to the public, announce it, and present that and be that, even in the public eye. So you want to be careful and not treat it as like a charade. Like, you don't want to be careless with this. Whatever kind of responsibility you're given that is giving you insight into something, it could even be something of the past. It's just something that has a profound effect on, I don't, like, it has a profound effect on you, but I feel like it's affecting people or environments around you in big drastic ways. And you gotta be cool about it. Like, you gotta, like, and it's not even about faking it or pretending everything's fine when it's not. But at the same time, it's like everything is fine though, at least for you. So you have to be able to maintain that, and not let whatever it is that happens this month, whatever it is that these eclipses are ending for you and taking away from you right now, you got to keep it cool. You got to keep it vigilant, level-headed, and know that you were given this mission, this opportunity. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up what you could expect to come in now that we're here. I'm keeping these readings pretty short because they are late. Otherwise, I would love to explore this a little bit more, but I think the main message got through here. Okay, so what you could expect in the month ahead, we have the King of Swords, Ace of Cups, and Ten of Pentacles. Now, I find it interesting because I feel like the King of Swords is preceding the Magician. The Ace of Cups is preceding the the page, and then the Ten of Pentacles is preceding the Hierophant. Like, I feel like these are, I don't normally read it like this, but I feel like those are the these are the progressions of each of what those cards represent. So I'll tie them in together. since they're kind of just going together. So whatever's happening currently, it's going to be like a continuous theme for you this month. Especially if it's like the example I gave where of a future event that has yet to happen. So this is an ongoing situation, an ongoing theme happening for you this month. The King of Swords is definitely the most vigilant person here. They carry so much knowledge and wisdom, and they know all these things, and they guard that knowledge. He doesn't reveal everything. The King and the Queen of Swords are both people who speak when it's time. They don't just talk. They don't just reveal anything and everything, especially not to just anyone, which could also be related a little bit to the Hierophant. But I do relate the Magician and the Hierophant together. Regardless, like the Hierophant, like he's not going to tell all the secrets to just anybody. The church, you have to be like a knight or something to have more secrets and knowledge of, what it is they believe and teach. And I think I even said something about, yeah, like I said something about introspection and maybe withholding, like not expressing as much as you normally would, like just being more quiet this month, even if you're not spending a lot of time alone, like you could just not be speaking more, at least not personally, like you're not just saying anything and everything this month. You're definitely more introspective, and you're definitely being called to go inward more. And it's more like just having more internal conversations with yourself, like really sitting there and talking to yourself. It's a way for you to talk to your higher selves and your spirit. It's a way for you to talk to your subconscious mind as well. And like if you have different personalities, or like you identify different aspects of yourself as a personality, like it's a way to talk to them. And it's also like talking to your intuition in a way. So there's like something really spiritual about it. Like low key, these could just be conversations with God or just with a higher power, even if it's just you, like literally talking to yourself. Either way, it's very mental this month. The King of Swords is an air sign. This is Gemini. It's very mental. And if anything, Gemini is the most talkative of the air signs. But they too are like, they still don't say like everything. Like they could say so much and you still won't know who they are, which is also like Scorpio energy. But overall, I just feel like, coming in for you this month, I just feel you're going to be a lot more personal with yourself. Like you're a lot more observant. You're a lot more aware of your own thoughts, of the way you speak to yourself, and even like realizing like why do like recognizing your inner parent. Basically, like we all have an inner parent, and it's the things we tell ourselves, like the kind of disciplinary things we tell ourselves is like your inner parent. And so I think like those things are up for evaluation. Like, are you inner parenting as a habit? And is that a good habit? You know, that's kind of interesting. That could just be like for one person. So anyways, Ace of Cups. I mean, this is essentially the cup that the page is holding. The Ace of Cups is the divine spark. It's an opportunity being given to you. And then the page is the one who yields the cup. Like they take that information from the ace and then apply it. Like they materialize it. And the Ace of Cups has a lot to do with emotions and creativity, as well as relationships, comforts, luxuries. It has a lot to do with the subconscious mind, your intuition, your spirituality, your, I don't know why, but like I'm getting like your ritual, like your devotion, I guess you could say. This Ace of Cups to me right now is representing like your devotion to the divine, or your devotion to your job or your family or whatever it is that you see of importance, or all those things, like and like also like where are you devoting yourself and who are you devoting yourself to. It's a good month for you to really ask yourself these things, and to maybe even like, I see it as more of a realignment, because this has a lot to do with time. And I think it's more about like, it's not so much about eliminating, it's more about realigning. So group one, for them, I feel like they have a lot to eliminate. You guys, it's like, it's not about giving it away, it's like realigning with a purpose. So yeah, like some things will be given away, but it's not, that's not the ritual that you're doing here. Your ritual is to redefine your purpose, redefine yourself, to get back on your path, get back on track. That's basically what I'm getting here. You'll be given that opportunity this month if you haven't yet already. And then the Ten of Pentacles, sometimes to me, this is also like a sign of seclusion, but it's more just like within your own home, because it has a lot to do with family and inheritance, ancestors, the stuff that's in your home, like the stuff you own, the stuff that's been passed down to you. It's like your legacy, it's your foundation, basically. And so I feel like because of what's going on outside in the world, you're being forced to like look at what you have. You know, what kind of resources do you possess? So the Ten of Pentacles could be a sign that you're going to receive something, an inheritance. It could just be, it could just be more time with family. So you don't have to necessarily receive like, I don't know. I'm having a hard time like interpreting it. I feel like you're going to receive something, but you already have it. So that's why it's hard for me to interpret it. I don't know how to like describe that, or like how to even interpret that. Like there's something that you're receiving that you already have. So it could just again go along with the whole realignment. It's just going back to what is, like going back to what you have already, what you already know. Maybe you forgot, because life goes on. Like sometimes we just forget things. Sometimes we go off our path. Sometimes, you know, we stop doing something we used to always do for whatever reason, and we completely forgot about it, you know? So, like, there could be a reemergence, there could be a return of something. So, yeah, you could receive a return like money, or maybe somebody borrowed something from you and you get it back, or maybe you've lost something and you get it back, or whatever it is. Like, it's like you've had it before and it's coming back. And we can even relate this to karma, because it's kind of like relates to time. What goes around comes around. And if you believe like in reincarnation, it's the same thing as like the cycle, right? It repeats. It doesn't repeat in the same way, but it does repeat itself. Like the Ouroboros, it's, you know, an endless cycle. It's gonna, like, you, okay, like reincarnation, like with each pass you're reincarnate as a human, right? Like that's the same, but every experience is different every time. And you might have like similar events that happen. Like, let's just say you have the same amount of kids every lifetime, you know, but like obviously who you are in each lifetime is very different. And then like the Ace of Cups, it's a continuous flow. It's a never ending waterfall. And it's like this water kind of just creates itself. Like it flows from itself continuously. And so there could also just being there could also just be like this realization of like that continuous flow within you. Like you can continuously create and create and create like endlessly. Like you actually don't need all like, the spiritual aesthetics. You don't need, like in like neo-paganism and stuff. Like you don't need a chalice, you don't need a wand, you don't need a sword, you don't need that stuff. You don't need a dagger. Like you don't really need anything to do magic. Although it helps, trust me, like it helps, but like you can create that on your own. You can manifest and do things with just your mind and even your heart, like your whole, like your soul, basically. Like that's where your endless stream of, yourself, your creativity, your resources, everything, that's where it comes from. It pours into you and out of you, and it's always there. So I'm sorry if this is like getting too deep or whatever, but like that's like what I'm getting for this group. It is for me, for this group, it is like that deep, you know? Like even if it is just like really personal, like only you are like feeling it, and like maybe your external world doesn't really match that, but like you feel it deep inside. I also feel like with the Ace of Cups, you're presenting this to the world. So it's like you are playing that part of inspiring something out in the world. It also could be a sign of just you. I know I said like it's not about getting rid of things, but like you could just be giving something to the universe. You could just be giving, your manifestations to the universe. You're definitely presenting something here. So some of you may even have like a big presentation this month, or something's going to happen this month where you need to like put yourself out there, and it could just be a one-time thing, and it's going to like change everything though, because like I don't know, it's just like it's such a big deal. But I also don't want to like stress you out or give you anxiety. But I'm not getting that either. Like I feel like maybe you are so content with this. Like you're like fuck yes. Like but like in the most content way possible. Okay, so I'm gonna end the reading here. I would love to go deeper, but I really need to keep these short. However, I do offer private readings, so if you want me to take it deeper for you, then you can go ahead and book a reading with me. And I'm hosting a sale starting October 12th and it ends on October 17th. All tarot readings are 25% off. So if you want a reading for me, I highly recommend you book during this time. Otherwise, I hope that you received all that you needed to in this reading. And we're going to close out the reading with another oracle card. I'm going to pull from the Spirit of the Animals oracle deck. And this is like just extra for you. It's going to like, because we are working with animals, you could use this as like a spirit guide for you this month. If anything, it's just extra message. And I'll put it up on the screen along with the book's description, so you can screenshot that if you like and keep it with you. I decided not to do channeled songs this month because, I don't know, I just decided not to. There's eclipses and all kinds of stuff going on, so like we don't need to focus on stuff like that, right? I want you guys to keep with what's important. And so yeah, let me go ahead and pull that card for you, and I'll put it up on the screen. And the oracle card we got for you guys is Dear Love, be gentle with yourself. You heal with the power of love. See the light in all things. Acknowledge your self-worth and grace. If you haven't yet already, please hit the subscribe button, tap the notifications bell, and like this video. By liking this video, you help to push it into the YouTube algorithm for other people to find. Follow my profile on Instagram at Spotless Mind Tarot. Replace the I in mind with the number 1. If you would like to book a private reading with me, my readings are available on my Etsy shop, kaleidoscopeescape.etsy.com, Also, do me a huge favor and drop a comment below this video so that way I know you're here with me. Just tell me which pile you picked, and if you want to share any stories you have or any experiences you have, that'd be great. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm very grateful for having your presence, and I will catch you in the next video. Blessings. If you picked card 3, Gabriel, Angel of Heralds, this is your reading for October 2023. We will begin the reading by taking a look at your current energies to see where you are at this moment. Then we'll look at what you could expect in the month ahead. I am recording these readings on October 12th, so I do apologize for the fact that they are late. It has been quite a month, let me tell you. I'm sure you already know because we have a lot going on astrologically this month, including eclipses. So with that said, I'm going to keep this reading really short compared to usual. I'm also not going to do a channeled song. So let's just go ahead and jump in. You guys chose this oracle card that represents Archangel Gabriel. He is one of like the 7 main archangels in the Bible. On the tree of life, he sits in Yesod, and his name translates to Mighty One or the might of God. So with my interpretation, he's really connected to the human species because he announces the will of God. So he's kind of like the messenger of the heavens to humanity, especially wherein we consider his position on the tree of life. Sitting in Yesod, this is like the earthly realm. It's like where everything kind of like, it's not exactly the earthly realm like Malkut is, but it is like the combination of like all higher beings and higher entities and frequencies and all that, like bringing it into the material. It is like the as above, so below kind of energy. It is also like the access point to reach the higher realms. So it's like an evolved earth, I guess you could say. It's like, it is like an ideal earth, or like the reality humanity is meant to achieve. I'm going to go ahead and read from the booklet's description from the artist who created this deck and get an idea of how they view this archangel and the energy of the oracle card and what it represents. So Gabriel, Angel of Heralds, the guardian that stands beside the gateway between Angelarium and the rest of existence. Gabriel's lantern points into the seething darkness. Its light breaks open the unknown and banishes doubt. There is certainty in this light. It fills you. The angel issues no command. It doesn't need to. Shine, little light, shine. The impetus for action burns in you. In fact, you burn in it, feeling this light. Suddenly you burst forth, blazing the way, piercing the dark, leaving change in your wake. There is light everywhere you tread. You are the light of Gabriel's lantern. The might of this angel does not command you, it aims you. The signs to look out for this month are a lantern, a mirror, and a discovery. So to me, this is like a good sign that you are on the right path. You're definitely heading in the right direction. So if you've had any doubts or any worries or concerns, I would, trust in the universe that you are exactly where you need to be at this moment, and you are definitely being called to step into a higher purpose. And doing your guys' reading last, I can say that I could see the similarities between each group, because every month I found that each group has very similar situations, like there's a similar theme, but the way that each group goes about it is, and the way it's going to manifest is very different. And so this month, because of the eclipses, because of where the nodes are, we have the North Node in Aries and the South Node in Libra right now, I really, and with the eclipse that's happening now, it's like I really feel that everybody as a collective, they're being asked to step into their higher purpose. Group one had a lot to do with like eliminating things and taking things away. And group number two had a lot with like realigning to their path, to their purpose. For you guys, I see it as like a calling. This is like you're being given a calling this month. So for you, it's like, it's going to be like something brand new for you. There's going to be something that happens this month that like maybe you've never thought of it before. And maybe you felt like you were in the dark for a very long time, especially this year. And something happens this month, and maybe it's already happened for you, where you finally realize like a purpose, what you came here to do. Or it could even be something as simple as like, you know which college you want to go to. Okay, let's say you've had different offers from different colleges. Now you know which one to go to. Okay, or now you know which classes you want to take or which ones you want to drop, even, or whatever the case. It could be anything happening in your life. You're being called to step forth and to answer the call, basically. I'm also getting like there's a lot of divine purpose between each of these groups. I mean, that's basically what purpose is, isn't it? It's kind of like a calling from the divine. But it could even be something just more personal, like a more like a spiritual achievement, a more, if you look at it in like a Buddhist perspective, you know, there's a more soulful achievement with this versus something external like a job or a career or education or relationships or anything like that. Either way, whatever it is, whatever it's manifesting for you, like whatever you find of importance, even if you didn't, like overall, like you're being called to step into this. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull some cards from the Albano Way Tarot deck, and we're gonna look at your current energies. So because this reading is later than usual, these could have been like the energies of the first 2 weeks of October, or like the energies going into October, or it could be right now as you're watching this. No matter what time you're watching this, it could be relevant to you. So I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle and let's see what we get. Okay, so for current energies, we have the Tower, the Devil, and the Three of Pentacles. And the Tower was like, I mean, obviously it was the first card to pop out, but it was like on the first shuffle, it just like it came right out. And so definitely what I was saying, how like you're being called to step into like a purpose, you're being called to step forth, basically. The Tower is here to affirm that, like, yeah, like we got business to do, basically. That's what I'm getting. And then we have the Devil, which is Capricorn. So this can be like a big career change or a big career move. It's a big move regardless, whatever it is, however it applies to in your life. And I feel like it's like completely different than like what you would expect it to be. It's almost like those stories you hear where people who like they work a corporate job and like they have a high position, they make a lots of money, they get to travel the world, like they get to do all this cool stuff, right? People like for whatever reason, they'll like completely quit their job and give it all up and then do something like astrology, or they move to India and like have a more spiritual life, right? After they've like basically they've had it all, and then they give it up for something that is way more self-fulfilling. That's like the energy I'm getting. It's like like even if things were good, like you were in a position where you were making lots of money and like you had all this stability and you could do whatever you want, it's like you're being called to do something completely different now. And it could be anything too, like, and it could be the opposite of that. Like maybe things weren't looking so good. Maybe things were pretty dark for you. And then now something's happening and there's a new light shining. Either way, there's a huge, huge shift here from like one life to the next almost. It's almost like switching lives out. And I do believe that there's going to be shifts this month. I mean, I've already seen them happen, especially over the first weekend of October. And then we have a lot of planets moving direct now, or they're about to. And so, with along with the eclipses again, and then like Libra season, like there's definitely a lot of shifts happening, and a lot of things are changing for everyone in their own special ways. So coming back though to this tower and to the devil, you are definitely shedding away the energy of the devil, and the devil can represent things that you are attached to. This can represent obsessions, addictions, bad habits, anything that was like, even if like maybe it did bring you fulfillment, it was draining you in some other way. So even if you were getting that dopamine, you're getting that fix, it wasn't like it was costing you. Like it was like it's not really worth it. Like it's cheap thrills is what I'm hearing. Cheap tricks. You know, it's a cheap fix. It's kind of like eating. Like, you know, you eat some junk food because it tastes good and then like it makes you feel good, but it's very temporary, you know? Like is it really worth, messing up your diet to get that temporary feeling that makes you feel good, you know? Yeah, like maybe it was working out, but there's just something about it. It's like there's something better. There's something way better for you for sure. And it's really liberating. Like I'm getting so much liberation from this. And the Three of Pentacles, you could be receiving assistance or help, and it can be from anyone, So however the situation's playing out for you, you could be receiving help in that way or from that environment. I could also see you working with people this month that will create a long lasting impact for you in some way. So, like, if you're in school, these could just be other students that you're working on projects with. And maybe this is like a project that you have to work on all school year or something like that. So like you kind of have to like develop a relationship with these other classmates. And it's like you're building something that's meant to last either way. Even if it is just with yourself, you could just be receiving new resources. You're receiving help in some way. So it could even just be alone, but I do feel it's more physical. So other people are definitely involved. They don't have to be directly involved though, but there is involvement and there is like you're working together on the same thing. So it's a group effort. And this tower moment's great because it's going to help you really shed away a lot of layers, especially during Scorpio season. So I feel that maybe some of you guys have Scorpio placements. We have Mars in Scorpio now, so that could just be hitting your chart. You want to see where Scorpio is in your birth chart and see what Mars is doing while it transits Scorpio. I feel like it's gonna benefit you guys in some way. Even if they're squares, it's still gonna benefit you. Like, I don't know, like there's something about that that's really motivating. It's almost like you like want this tower moment. Like you're celebrating this tower moment. Cuz I do like this current energies, that's really what I'm getting. There's like a celebration Now, I know it doesn't look like that, so like if you're not familiar with tarot, I know the images can be kind of off-putting, but I mean they're meant to, they're supposed to be that way. But it is all about like the energy and like the messages that I'm receiving, and currently it's like it's very like it's very welcoming, it's very rewarding. So maybe not in the process of it all, it's not like it may not feel that way, but at the end like it's like detoxifying. So you could even just be detoxing. Like maybe it's as simple as you choosing to eat healthier. Like it can be like it may seem simple like that idea, but it's going to have such a lasting impact and a profound impact on you. So this is wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and move into what you could expect to come in now in the month ahead. Okay, so what you can expect is the Knight of Pentacles, Five of Swords in reverse, and the Page of Wands. Let's see here. Um, First off, the Five of Swords in reverse. That definitely speaks of losses, but it's more like compromise. Like, it's not like a defeat. Whereas if it was in the upright position, that's more about like defeat and losing something. The reverse for me, it's like, you know, there's a compromise, which there's loss within compromise, but the compromise is fair. You know what I mean? It's fair for both parties or whoever's involved, or even with yourself. It's a fair deal. It's not ideal, like it's not exactly what you want or would like to have, but it's pretty good. And we do have the Knight of Pentacles, so it's like you are being given this opportunity. And so that's probably just what this is speaking about with the Tower, and how like you're being called in to do something else somewhere in your life. You're being called to, and it's not like changing. It's definitely about change, but it's more like just a new like just a new way of being. You know, there's also like this underlying theme for all three groups where it's like it's something that's always been there within you. You know, group one has to eliminate something to get there. Group two has to realign with it. And you guys, it's just like it's like it's being activated now. Like this was always part of the plan, but you had to wait until now for to experience it, which is pretty powerful, and that's pretty deep. You know, I can relate to something like that, where it may be something you've known about, like maybe your whole life, like even if it's just like an inner knowing, like you've always known it's gonna happen, and like now it's finally here. So I don't know, it's still pretty fantastic though. It still feels great, even though the Five of Swords is out. But I do like it's in the reverse because it's not a complete loss. It's more like just giving up the past, giving up old ways and all that kind of stuff. Like, but it's like totally worth it. Like you're not losing anything by doing that. And then the Knight of Pentacles can speak of opportunity, and it's opportunity to really build something that lasts for a really long time. Because Pentacle energy is all about solidifying. It's making things real. It's building foundations. You know, it's all things that has to do with the physical material reality. And we have all this earth energy out, so it's something to keep in mind that this is like meant to last, and it's meant to be at the same time. And the Page of Wands is also this new opportunity, but it's more Let me see how it's coming through. This could also represent a younger person, a child. It could be your own child. Maybe some of you are going to find out you're pregnant, or there could even just be like a reconnection to the past or to your inner child. But I do feel like I don't always feel like the knights and pages and whatnot are other people. I mean, I feel like the kings and queens usually are always other people in my readings, but for like the page and the knights, not so much. But I do feel like for you guys, there is an energy here with a younger child. They could be Cancer, Leo, or Virgo. You could also just think about what happened during Cancer, Leo, and Virgo season. Either way, it's related to children. It's related to fertility. So you could even just like simply planted a seed during that time, and now you're seeing the results, especially during the eclipses. So the eclipses are going to take something out of everyone's life and bring in something brand new. And these ones are like, I don't know, like they're just insane. Like eclipses always are, but these ones are, and I, like for me, it's like in one of the readings I said it's like a chaotic neutral. So it's like really chaotic and insane, but it's so neutral. Like it's always gonna depend on everyone, like how it plays out, like if it's like uncomfortable or not. But like it just seems so neutral in a sense that's like it's not good or bad. It's just an eclipse. Sometimes there's eclipses where it's like, yeah, like yeah, this one's no good, like some fucked up shit's gonna happen, but you know, these are different. I don't know what it is. They just they feel different for me anyways. Okay, so let me see what else. Like cuz the messages for this group is very interesting. Like it's not so apparent to me. I feel it is something that is definitely way more apparent for you. Like you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I have no idea. Like I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just channeling whatever it is I'm picking up, whatever that's coming to me. Whatever is coming in, the Knight of Pentacles that's coming into your life, this is like, again, like this is a new opportunity. Whatever it is, it's definitely reliable. It's definitely something you can trust. There's definitely going to be a compromise. There's definitely going to be like things you're just gonna have to let go of and get rid of. Yeah, like, I mean, there's loss, but I don't see it as a loss, so spirit doesn't want you to see it as a loss or even like a clearing. They don't It's like they don't want you to see it as anything really. It's just another facet of life. Like they don't want you to have any kind of attachment to it, cuz even the act of letting go is an attachment because you're literally having to detach yourself in order to let go to something that when you let go, it's usually because you're holding on to something that, yeah, because you were holding on to something. You have an attachment to it. And so spirits just like, there's no need to even see any attachment or detachment. It is what it is, which is pretty cool. And that's pretty powerful, honestly. I mean, and it could be easier said than done, but I feel like that's a really I mean, definitely a positive message, but a really inspiring and like, it's just like a nice way of seeing things. All right, so I kind of feel like you're also going to not take things so seriously, at least with what's surrounding this. Like, where you normally would have been like a Capricorn about this, or even the Taurus, like an earth sign about this, where you took it so seriously, like purpose, like I gotta have purpose, or my life is meaningless. Like you're not. like, yeah, like you still believe that, right? But maybe you were taking it too seriously. Maybe you were trying to make it something when it already is something. So it's like you don't need to make it something because it already is, right? It's a very interesting message that I'm getting here. So I hope that resonates. I hope it makes sense. And the Page of Wands could also be that, like, that childlike approach, because kids are anything but serious, right? They don't take things nearly half as serious as we do. I mean, there's definitely things they take serious. Like, I'm sure they got their favorite toys and, you know, things like that, their favorite possessions and their favorite likes and you know, they have their likes and dislikes, but like, they're not worried about the bills. They're not worried about what other people think necessarily. Those are things that, like, you kind of develop within among society. And so that's maybe that's another message, like you're letting go of your attachment to society, but it's more like you were never really attached in the first place. I don't know. That can be like for one particular person. So overall, like, you guys are really, you're stepping into something brand new here. It's a fresh start. It's a brand new opportunity. Your past, like, a year from now, like today, like a year from today, like, it's it's gonna feel like 5 years. Like, there's gonna be so much that happens after this month, after the eclipses, that it's not even that you're not gonna recognize yourself. It's gonna just feel like that was like another lifetime ago. That was a different skin. You know, you're shedding your skin here for sure. I want to see if there's anything else that's like more to that, or try to find a different message here. But I do want to keep like everything really simple this month because these are late, and then like I don't want to stress it. Like, these eclipses, the energy going on is a little crazy, so I don't want to spend too much time. So I do kind of feel like I should just end it here. I do wish to give you more, but I really have nothing else to say. If you need more from me, I do offer private tarot readings that you can order on my Etsy shop, so you could check that out. But otherwise, I feel like you got the message you needed to hear from me for this month. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull another oracle card for you guys from the Spirit of the Animals Oracle. And this is just like energy that's just gonna wrap things up. It's also gonna serve as a spirit guide. So this is guidance you can take with you this month, and I'll put it up on the screen so you can screenshot it. Whereas, like, the oracle card that you picked, Gabriel, this is an angel that you can work with this month. You can call upon them. It could also just be an archetype that you embody. So embodying the archetype of Gabriel and what he represents. And there's endless information about him online, so you can go check that out. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pull a card, another oracle card. I am not doing channeled songs this time around, and so this will wrap up the reading. And the oracle card we got for you guys is Wolf Pathfinder. Release your past and start a new journey. You are a teacher and help others find their way. There will be challenges, but your soul is strong. Perseverance is your secret power. You have a love that endures. And that is fantastic. That's like definitely summing up everything I've said. So I'll leave it up on the screen for you guys, for you to pause the video if you want and read what the book says, or even screenshot this and keep it with you. If you haven't yet already, please hit the subscribe button, tap the notifications bell, and like this video. By liking this video, you help to push it into the YouTube algorithm for other people to find. Follow my profile on Instagram at Spotless Mind Tarot. Replace the I in mind with the number 1. If you would like to book a private reading with me, my readings are available on my Etsy shop, kaleidoscopeescape.etsy.com. Also, do me a huge favor and tell me which pile you picked in the comments below. And if you would like to share your stories with me or let me know how it resonated, I'd love to hear from you guys. I would like to see some feedback, so I know if I'm connecting with you or not. And also so I see who I'm connecting with. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm very grateful for your presence, and I will catch you in the next video.